welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my 2025 book vent. If you don't know what book vent is, it's pretty easy concept. Basically, it's just an advent calendar, but with books. This tradition started, it's my husband that buys all of these books for me. He wraps them. I open one a day. This started in 2023. He just did it as a Christmas gift, and I thought that is so thoughtful and sweet. And then on day 25, on Christmas is the last one, the book was titled, Will You Marry Me? And then he proposed. So this is a tradition I love so much. He did not propose again this year, but I just wanted to share with everyone what books I got. I'm really excited about all of these. I actually already pulled my January TBR. You can watch that video if you go back, but none of these somehow made it into the January TBR, and I used the random number generator, so I thought for sure that one of these would, since there's 25 books, but none of them did. So now we get to talk about them today. So I don't know really what my hair is doing. Okay. So day one, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I am dreadfully behind on the Brandon Sanderson train. I actually have yet to read a book by him. They are all chonkers. So I think this is the first book, of the Stormlight Archive. So I've been told to start with Mistborn. I have most of those collected, but haven't started reading them yet. So that should be good, but this is book number one. Day two is A Reign of Rose by Kate Golden. So when I got this, I didn't know, I hadn't read Dawn of Onyx or Promise of Peridot, I think is the second one, at all, and this is the third. But since then, I read Dawn of Onyx in December and absolutely loved it. So I'm really happy that this is on my shelves now so that I can just kind of plow through the whole trilogy. But I'm really excited about this one. Number three is The House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein. Stein? Not sure. I'm excited about this one, mostly for the cover, but also, I mean, look how pretty these spreads are. They're gorgeous. It's like a romantasy, royal halfling. There's like crows included. I don't know. Daniel Jensen blurbed it, and I love the Bridge Kingdom. So I'm very excited for this one. Day four is The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli? I don't know. This is the same author that wrote Heartless Hunter, which was my top book of 2024. So I immediately went and put her entire backlist on my wish list. And so this is the first in the Iskari trilogy. Obviously haven't read it yet, but that cover is really pretty. Like really pretty. Book five is The Forbidden Wolf King by Leah Stone. This is book four in a series that I already own the other three of. It's just like a little skinny guy. So hopefully I'll read these at some point because it looks like they can be knocked out pretty quickly, but I'm not really sure what the series is about. It's called Kings of Avalier. So if you've read it, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Next is The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. I think these books are gorgeous. This is book, I think, 2 in this series, maybe? Hard to say. In the Bone Season trilogy, or series, it's not trilogy. This is the same author as the Priori of the Orange Tree, which I also have not read. I do own it one day. But yeah, I think this is super pretty and obviously a series that I've been looking forward to reading. So that was day 4, 5, 6. So day 7 was The Witch's Blade by A.K. Mulford. This is book 2 of, The Five Crowns of Okrith. Most of these are fantasy books. I think there's 2 books in here that aren't. But yeah, really excited about this series. I already have the first one, but haven't read it yet. So happy to have the second one to jump right into. This is one of the only 2 non-fantasy books in this whole stack. So this is The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. This is the second in the Truly Devious series, which you'll see a theme here. I also have not started, but I do have the first one. And people who like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and the Inheritance games say that this is a really good kind of like read-alike. And I loved both of those. Loved the whole trilogy of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then I liked the first Inheritance games, and the rest have just been okay for me. But regardless, that's up my alley. That's the kind of a YA I really like. Next, this book is so pretty. Okay, this is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Peñaranda. I might have butchered that, but oh, look at that. So gorgeous. And the spreads are so pretty too. Beautiful. Yeah, I think this is just like romantasy, I guess, but I'm really excited about it. I feel like I've seen it all over the place. So that will be fun. I don't know what we're on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so book 10 is The Color of Dragons by R.A. Salvatore and Erica Lewis. Look at that cover. It is so beautiful. I wish this glare would there's a window right across from me, but it's kind of cloudy today, so I feel like the lighting sucks. Really excited to read this one. It's described as being breathless, blood-soaked, and brutal. Obviously a romantasy. I think it's YA because it's by Harper Teen. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. I haven't seen this anywhere. I saw it at Barnes & Noble and then added it because I thought the cover was pretty and it had to do with dragons. My Barnes & Noble has a whole table that's just dedicated to dragon books, and I'm always hawking it to see what else has come out. So this is one of those. Excited to read it. Not in January though, because my TBR is already picked for that. Okay, next. Gothicana by Rue Nix. Rue Nix, one word. I've heard very controversial things about this. I had one friend who our tastes typically align and she did not like this one, but I already had put it on my wish list and wasn't gonna take it off. I love these dark purple spreads. We'll see how this goes. I think I'm gonna buddy read this at some point with another friend of mine. So we'll see. It's got a lot of big names that blurbed it on the back, so hopefully that's promising. Book number 12 is Bride of the Shadow King by Sylvia Mercedes. As a theme, if you have a pretty cover, you can probably get me, but I think this is just gorgeous. I have not read anything by her. It's blurbed by Ruby Dixon. I think, yeah, this cover is just beautiful. Look at that crown. I think I could pull it off. It's romantasy, also blurbed by Daniel Jensen. So I don't really care about blurbs much, so I don't know why I'm telling you so much about who blurbed what, but I'm excited to read this one. Don't know anything about it. If you are new here, which you probably are because I've been around for like 5 seconds on BookTube, I like to go into books blind, and so the less I know about it, the better, honestly. You can pretty much convince me to read something due to the author, the blurb, or the cover being a large part of that. Okay, next up we've got The Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson, and this is a Mistborn book. I have not started Mistborn. I have not read any Brandon Sanderson, as I mentioned already, so this will be interesting. But I think this says Wax and Wane book 3, so I think, and I have done no research on this, so I could be super wrong. Let me know if I am. But that the Mistborn series is divided into like 2 sub-series, is what I've heard, and I think this is the second one, but I could be wrong. So please do not take my word for it. I do not accept that responsibility. Oh, this is probably my favorite looking book of any of the books that I got. No, that's not true. But this is really pretty. This is A Song of Ash and Moonlight by Claire Legrand. This is book 2 in the Middle Mist trilogy. Book 1 I have somewhere on my shelves, and it's equally as pretty. It's like a forest green. It's gorgeous. But yeah, really excited about this one. Also romantasy, but just look at, I could stare at this all day. I haven't seen anything about this anywhere, so hopefully it's good. If you've read it, let me know, or have read any part of that series, because I know nothing about it. Next one is, that would have been 12, 13, 14. So day 15 is Blood on the Tide by Katie Robert. I love the cover of this. I thought that this was in, okay, so it's in the Crimson Sail series, but I think they're like interconnected standalones instead of being like strict, you know, read this, then this. But I'm still really excited for this one. It's a like mermaid pirate, I think. One thing about me is I love a pirate book, like so much. If you guys have read like the Ever King series, I ate that up, and I don't even think it was an amazing series, but it was so fun. Next up, this is, I know I've read this in my life, but I remember nothing about it, and it's been like since high school. So this is Silence. This is the 3rd book in the Hush Hush series, which that cover is just so 2008. I don't even know when this came out. Watch it be like, well, it's not going to be before 2008 because I read it in high school. 2011. Okay, so 2011. I was still in high school. This series is about an angel who goes to school with like mortals. I don't really remember what the premise even is, but this is book 3. I have the desire to read through these again. I don't even know. I think they were on there. You can barely see it, but the other 2 are right over here on my shelf. So this will be joining those. Next, we have another Mistborn book. This is the one right before the other one. So this is Shadows of Self. Really cool cover. But yeah, again, haven't read a Sanderson. I think this is the second like sequel series to Mistborn. So that'll be fun. Next up, we've got a really pretty book that I've heard good things about. This is Curious Tides by Pascal Lascelles. I got the sequel to this also. I went on a little like Christmas book haul, Barnes & Noble trip while my best friend was here visiting last week. But I'm really excited about this one too. It's really pretty. Look at that shimmer. And it's blurbed by Chloe Gong, who wrote Immortal Longings and like Foul Lady Fortune and these Violent Delights, all those books. Haven't read any of them, own all of them. It's a trend. Next is The Rogue Crown by A.K. Mulford. This is also in the 5 Crowns of Ogrith trilogy series, and this is number 3. So I got 2 before and now this is 3. This next one is number 20. This is called Shadow Scale by Rachel Hartman. I haven't seen anything about this either, but I own the rest of her books and I just love the covers so much that I'm looking forward to seeing if I like her books as well. And this is sequel to Seraphina, which you can see both of the other book covers on the back, and they are equally as stunning. Okay, next, this would be day 21, is Firelight by Sophie Jordan. And this is just really pretty. Like, look at that dragon and there's fire and all that. So I guess this is a trilogy. So this is book 1. And then I think I have book 2 already. And then I'll need to put 3 on my wish list. But beautiful book. Day 22. I have already read this book, but I have fallen in love with the special edition. This is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is one of my favorite romances of all time. Sure, there's not like a person alive who hasn't seen the special edition, especially if you're active on BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, whatever. But I wanted a trophy copy for my shelves, so I'm very excited to have this. Also, I read this one, but wanted a trophy or shelf trophy, Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I loved this series. I would say out of all of them, number 2, Glow of the Everflame was my favorite, but the new published versions are so pretty. Like, this cover might be one of my favorites of any book that I read in 2024. It is beautiful. So I'm excited to have that one. And then number 24 is Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. So this is one of the Red Rising books. I have not read any of Red Rising yet, but I'm slowly trying to collect them. I think those are like right behind me somewhere, but maybe I'm full of it. Oh yeah, you can see this got knocked over because it was my TBR thing, but right behind there are my other Red Rising books. So this one, can't wait. All right, my final book this year did not come with a ring, even though obviously super pretty. Can you even see that well? So that was my favorite present that came with Bookvent last year. This book might be my favorite that I got this year. So this is an indie published book by V.B. Lacey called Forever Rain. This is the second in a duology that I've been waiting to read until I had this because I've heard it ends on a cliffhanger. The first one's called Long Live, and that I got in my Bookvent last year. But I think this cover is beautiful. I'm really excited to read all of this, and I think it's just romantasy. The back sounds super interesting, so that'll be a good one. And there you have it, all of my 25 books of Bookvent 2024. And I was gonna try to hold these up so you could see them, but we'll just kind of awkwardly balance here. And we'll call it good there. So thank you for coming to my channel. If you have any of these books that you've read before and you're excited about, or any that you've seen that look interesting to you, go ahead and shoot me a comment below. You can also follow me on any of my socials, which are linked below as well. And if you would like to join any of our buddy reads with the Buddy Read Club, not an official book club, Buddy Read Club that I run, you can find that at Buddy Read Babes on Instagram. And I'm also at Bookshelvish on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, all of it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great 2025. I'm excited for what this year will bring.